Alright, since that went so well, and there's no sight adjustment or nothing, I brought two other guns. This is a 1942 Izhevsk rifle, and we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to fire 5 down at a similar target and see where we are with this gun. So, you know, it doesn't help people that need to make sight adjustments when you got a gun that shoots dead on. So I'm going to see if I got one that's a little off. So I'll show you the results here in a minute. Okay, as you see with this rifle, aiming right here, we're a little on the low side. Okay? And my shooting coach said that I was flinching a little. So I got to concentrate on getting behind the gun on the rest. And this is where your discipline and concentration comes in. And I got to try to hold that gun using the rest as solid as I can. And when it fires, you know, using the rest of my shoulder, absorb the recoil and keep the gun on sight. Now we're going to change and do a point of aim. I believe this gun's set for point of aim. So now instead of just aiming here, I'm going to raise that up to where we're going to try 5 with that. Rear sight would be here in the center of the post, right dead in the center of the target. A point of aim sight picture. And we're going to see how much this moves. You know, at 100 yards, this is going to be different. So we're going to save all these targets, make notations, and we're going to shoot at a larger target, you know, at 100 yards. But we're going to change our point of aim. Alright, so using that sight picture, we're on. The gun's shooting towards the right, but my shooting coach is telling me that when I fire it, the gun jumps to the right. So maybe we'll try sight adjustment, just a slight one, and see if that, maybe it's just the way I shoot. You know, then again too, the way you shoot. If you're consistent, and even if you're doing something improper, but you're consistent, you can adjust your sights, but just stay consistent. And we're going to make a slight sight adjustment, and I'll show you my tool. And we'll do that and try to move this over a tad. We had to shoot at a new target because so we were pretty much to the right. And that adjustment now looks like we're pretty much closer. Some of that could be me pulling, but this is more in line with where it was, more or less. About the same. But it is shooting low. So I'm going to try something. We're shooting low, 50. I'm going to try bumping that rear sight up. And fire 5 more. And see where we get. I'm going to tape these up. And see if that sight still needs adjustment. I'm going to tape these all up. Well, I'll leave this because it's a control target. But we're going to try it again here. And I'm going to move up the rear sight to compensate for the shooting low. Alright, so we're shooting in the same spot. A couple of them flew up high. Alright, we're going to get back to that because I'm going to let that barrel cool off because, you know, the heat could be playing some tricks on me. We'll get some new targets up and we'll try it out. We'll start all over again. We'll see where we're shooting and try to make an adjustment to the right a little on that. Okay. Alright, we've nudged the sight over to the right noticeably and we're still shooting a tad to the right and still low. Now I'm using that hold where point of aim. We're right through the center of the target. I got the back of the rear sight and the top of the post. I'm still shooting low at 50 yards. So I'm going to slide this slider up. Let's see what we got here. Slider. I want to move. It's sticky. Alright. It's here. I'm going to move the slider up to the 2. So I bumped the slider up. Now we're going to see if that changes the point of impact. We're going to put another 5 through there. And if we can't get anything close with it, I'm going to head to the 100 yard and work with the other one. Okay? Don't really look like it got up much higher, but I don't know. That's when we're going to have to sit down and refresh and work on it. Still shooting fairly low at 50 yards, which is odd. And I bumped that back up a notch. Maybe we'll take it out at 100 and see what it does. Now we got our first gun we were using, I think either the 42 or the 43. It shot well at 50 yards. This is what we did at 100. When I first started shooting, I was getting up in here, over here, and then as I got more consistent, calmed down, more used to it, I started hitting the bullseye using a 6 o'clock hold about here. Now our other gun that shot to the right and low at 30 yards, or 50 yards, I'm sorry, 50 yards. Again, it's shooting to the right. I drifted the sight over in that.